Ah. So that's how it is. He rasped. She throws my notes out the window. Ah. She doesn't negotiate, then I will. We'll see. There's a lot about me we'll see. I'll tie them in little knots. He grimaced, turned pale, frothed, shook his fist. They went a few steps like that. He was not embarrassed in the least by the prince's presence, as if he were alone in his room, because he regarded him as nothing in the highest degree. But he suddenly realized something and came to his senses. How did it happen? He suddenly turned to the prince. How did it happen that you, an idiot, he added to himself, have suddenly been taken into such confidence, after being acquainted for 2 hours? How is it? With all his torments he only lacked envy. It suddenly stung him to the very heart. I'm unable to explain it to you, replied the prince. Ganya looked at him spitefully. Was it her confidence she wanted to give you when she called you to the dining room? Wasn't she going to give you something? I can't understand it in any other way than precisely that. But why, devil take it? What did you do there? What was it they liked? Listen, he was fussing with all his might. Just then everything in him was somehow scattered and seething in disorder, so that he was unable to collect his thoughts. Listen, can't you somehow recall and put in order precisely what you were talking about, all the words, from the very beginning? Didn't you notice anything? Can't you recall? Oh, I recall very well, the prince replied. From the very beginning, when I went in and was introduced, we started talking about Switzerland. Well, to hell with Switzerland. Then about capital punishment. About capital punishment? Yes, apropos of something. Then I told them how I'd lived there for 3 years, and also the story of a poor village girl. To hell with the poor village girl. Go on. Ganya tore ahead impatiently. Then how Schneider gave me his opinion of my character and urged me. Blast Schneider and spit on his opinion. Go on. Then, apropos of something, I started talking about faces, that is, about facial expressions, and I said that Aglaya Ivanovna was almost as good-looking as Nastasia Filipovna. It was here that I let slip about the portrait. But you didn't repeat, You surely didn't repeat everything you'd heard earlier in the office? Did you? Did you? I tell you again that I didn't. Then how the devil, bah. Maybe Aglaya showed the note to the old lady? About that I can fully guarantee you that she did not show it to her. I was there all the while, and she also didn't have time. Or maybe you didn't notice something, oh. Cursed idiot, he exclaimed, now completely beside himself, he can't even tell anything. Once he began to swear and met no resistance, Ganya gradually lost all restraint, as always happens with certain people. A little more and he might have started spitting, so enraged he was. But, precisely because of that rage, he was blind, otherwise he would long since have paid attention to the fact that this idiot, whom he mistreated so, was sometimes capable of understanding everything all too quickly and subtly, and of giving an extremely satisfactory account of it. But suddenly something unexpected happened. I must point out to you, Gavrila Ardalionovich, the prince suddenly said, that formerly I was indeed unwell, so that in fact I was almost an idiot, but I have been well for a long time now, and therefore I find it somewhat unpleasant when I'm called an idiot to my face. Though you might be excused, considering your misfortunes, in your vexation you have even abused me a couple of times. I dislike that very much, especially the way you do it, suddenly, from the start. And since we're now standing at an intersection, it might be better if we parted. You go home to the right, and I'll go left. I have 25 rubles, and I'm sure I'll find furnished rooms. Ganya was terribly embarrassed and even blushed with shame. Forgive me, Prince, he cried hotly, suddenly changing his abusive tone to extreme politeness, for God's sake, forgive me. You see what trouble I'm in. You know almost nothing yet, but if you knew everything, you would probably excuse me at least a little, though, naturally, I'm inexcusable. Oh, but I don't need such big excuses, the prince hastened to reply. I do understand that you're very displeased and that's why you're abusive. Well, let's go to your place.